Well, look at what we made. Oh my goodness. And this is, obviously, if you're an experienced bread baker, you might enjoy this recipe, but I specifically did this for those of you who are brand new to bread baking but have always wanted to do it. So, out of the same dough, 2 beautiful loaves of bread and a dozen unbelievable rolls. So come and join me. Leave all your fear at the doorstep. Just step into the kitchen because I'm about to open up a new world for you. See you over there. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Don't be scared. Come on. Good morning, Grandma Roseanne, and today I'm going to talk specifically to those of you that have never been able to bake bread. You're terrified of bread, but you want to know how to do it. I'm talking beginner's bread. We're going to make a white bread. It's absolutely delicious. I will guarantee you it will be perfect. I will guarantee that. Just do it with me. Just put your iPad or your phone in front of you and do it with me. You're not going to believe how easy this is to do. So we're going to start out with 2 cups of water. The water, you want the temperature to be at the same temperature that you would let a baby drink it. Into this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1/4 cup of honey. We're going to give it just a real quick little mix here so that honey gets incorporated into the liquid. Now you can do this much, right? I know you can. We're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to show you what it's going to do. What you're doing right now is you're proofing your yeast. You're proving that your yeast is active. There will be bubbles going around, and that's telling you it's alive. If you don't have bubbles going around after 10 minutes, that means your yeast is dead. You don't want to work with dead yeast. I'll be back in 10. Okay, our 10 minutes is up. I hope you can see this. Can you see how it's bubbling all the way around? That's just telling us that our yeast is good and we can keep going. If your yeast isn't good, you want to know now and not 3 hours from now. So just pour that right into a mixer. And to this I'm adding 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use canola, you can use olive oil, you can use avocado oil, you can use butter, whatever you want. And we want 4.5 cups of bread flour. Be sure you use bread flour. I need more flour. I sure hope that was 2 cups. I kind of lost count. I think it was. 3, 4, 5. Even if I miscounted, it's still going to be okay. But I hope I didn't. But I really did lose count. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a mix here, just so my dough hook doesn't have to work quite so hard. It's almost Christmas. Beautiful poinsettias. Christmas earrings, they're still going. Which means we're very close to New Year's. Do you make New Year's resolutions? I make a New Year's resolution all the time that this year I am going to learn how to barbecue on my Weber. Oh, been a bugger for me. So if your New Year's resolution is this year I'm going to learn how to bake bread, well, we are ahead of the game right now. Put your dough hook in. $10 minutes. We're going to knead it for 10 minutes on medium. You can tell by the way the dough is reacting that I did put an extra cup in there. Whoa, but we're going to be okay. Okay. We're fine. This is what it looks like. Let me get a little bit closer to you. It's just nice. It's still sticky, but you can just see that it's a beautiful, beautiful dough. I love this. And it smells so good. Now, what I did is I turned my oven up to 200 degrees and I left it there for just a couple of minutes and shut it off. It's cold right now. Well, it's cold for us, okay? I'm in California and it's about, I don't know, 50. So for us, it's cold. So I want my bread to have every advantage it can have. So I'm going to put it into a warm oven, not hot, just a little bit warm. But if you're someplace where you're in the 70s right now, just leave it on your counter. It's fine. All right? So we need to cover this because I don't want it to dry out. I will time this for 1 hour or until it's doubled. I will be back. I don't know if I said this before or not, but it's worth repeating if I did. If you're a little unsure on how to do this, get your iPad or your phone and put it in front of you and just do it with me. That's all you have to do. Do it with me. There are so few steps here, and I know you will make amazing white sandwich bread. Now, for the hour, I'm going to go out to my garden and work on my tomatoes. What, you say? Tomatoes, Roseanne? It's almost January and you have tomatoes? I do. Well, we are at our hour and just look at this. Oh, and yours should look just like that. It will, I promise. Now I'm going to lightly flour my countertop. These little scrapers are very handy and very cheap. You can get them for just about $1 anywhere. I'm just going to mix this up just a little bit here. You want to cut it in half. Oh, we're making 2 loaves. Did I tell you that? We're making 2 loaves. Now, because we are baking them at the same time, I want them to be about the same weight. That's 1 pound, 4 ounces there. Oh, I did pretty good. Just right on the money. Now, if you don't have a scale, just do this. Kind of hold them in your hand, feel that they're about the same. Now, working with one at a time, I'm just going to, this is called dapple. And when you dapple, you're just using your fingers and just kind of stretching it out into a rectangle. We'll kind of look at the measure because this is where it's going to go. It's going to go into a bread pan. So we want it about that width. And you don't want to roll this. You really don't. Stretch it and be kind of gentle with it because honestly, you've got air bubbles in there that have been working really hard to develop to give you a really nice crumb. You just don't want to knock them out. Okay, I think we're pretty good. Now we're just going to roll it. Kind of pull it into you as you do this. When you get to this part, you just get in there and give it a good pinch. Roll it over so the seam side is down. And pop it into your pan. I will show you one more time because we have to do the second loaf. Amazing, isn't it, that even though I made a mistake on the flour, it still turned out lovely. Well, I guess it's all in the taste, so I shouldn't say that yet, but I've worked with enough dough to know that it's okay. So as you're doing things like this, if something like that happens, don't panic and don't throw the whole thing out. Just see what you can do to rectify it, because when we're in the kitchen, mistakes happen, you guys. And I legitimately, when I went over there to get more bread flour, I legitimately lost count. I did, but I could have just ended the video, started again. You'd have never known. But you know what? We're human. We make mistakes, and it's okay. But I think this mistake is going to come out just fine. I push down the edges because I want them kind of sealed. Roll it over so the seam side is down, and your second loaf of bread is there. Now you might, I don't know if maybe your family doesn't like bread. I don't know a family that doesn't like bread. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you live by yourself or you can't imagine 2 loaves of bread. These freeze beautifully, beautifully. So cook them off and pop them in your freezer. And then when you're ready, pull one out or a half out and enjoy. So now I'm going to cover these again with some plastic wrap. If they don't dry out, I'm going to put a cloth over it, and I'm going to leave it on my counter here for another hour or until it doubles. And the reason I'm not putting it in the oven is that I'm going to kick that oven up to 375 now. So as this hour is developing the gluten and rising, that is getting scorching hot. So when this goes in, that oven is at definitely 375. All right, so I'll be back in an hour. Okay, we have nicely risen, and I did dust the top with some flour because it was starting to stick to my plastic wrap. It's going to go in the oven now, 375. It's going to go in there for 50 to 60 minutes. So I will start checking it at about 50. All right, see you in a little bit with beautiful bread. Well, we have finished our loaves and they look lovely. So we need to see how they taste. Now, I don't think I told you, be sure to grease your pan before you put your dough in. I think I forgot to tell you that, but that's important for the release. And then you can't cut it immediately. You really do have to wait about 15 minutes so that it has time just to cool off enough. Now, while we are waiting for that, I made another batch of dough. And let me show you what we're going to do with this. Okay, so what we're going to do with this batch is we're going to make dinner rolls. Christmas is just a couple of days away, and I want these rolls for our dinner. All right, I'm going to cut this into fourths. And I'm only going to work with one group at a time. Always want to be aware that your dough is not going to dry out. So we are going to cover it. And considering that they have to bake at the same time, we need to have them relatively the same size. I'm cutting these into 3 ounces. I ended up with 13 3-ounce rolls. This one is only 1.5 ounces. I'm not going to use it. I just kind of roll them under like this, and then you want to roll them in a ball. You're tightening the skin, is what you're doing. If it tries to come apart on you, you're the boss. Get in there and pinch it harder. Well, look at our beautiful rolls. They have risen gorgeously. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it before. Again, we do need to grease the pan. so that we can have an easy release, which I did. I don't think I was on camera when I did that. I'm just doing the top of the buns with some butter because it will be flavorful, but what it also will do is allow our topping to adhere to it, and it'll become a very golden color when we pull them out of the oven, which is ever so appetizing. Now, we are going to be baking these at 350 degrees. I'm going to check them at about 15 minutes, but they'll go 15 to 20 minutes. Now we can have some toppings. How does that sound? I'm going to put sesame seeds on some of them. I love sesame seeds. Then we will put poppy seeds on some, so everybody can have exactly what they like. And these are black sesame. I hadn't been accustomed to using those before, but they're wonderful if you can find them. And then I think we will leave these last three just plain in case somebody really doesn't care to have all of the seeds. Now they're going to go into a 350 degree oven, and they're going to be there for probably 15 to 20 minutes, but we'll check at 15. Well, I know I'm supposed to taste everything, but honestly, I cannot do that. So the bread I will show you came out gorgeous. It's got a beautiful crumb, and yes, I did take a piece off of it and tasted it, and it was so good. So if this looks interesting to you, no problem. I'm showing you right now how to make it. I want to taste the rolls. So if I have my choice, I'm going to pick, we have sesame, poppy seed, and black sesame, and plain. I think I'll take a sesame. Would you just take a look at how that has risen and how beautiful that is? Pretty amazing. Okay, I think we need a little bit of butter. But these are spectacular. Absolutely delicious. Oh yeah. These will be on our table at Christmas. These will be for breakfast and sandwiches. All of this you can make. All of it you can make. Just as I said, put your iPad or your phone in front of you and just cook with me. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty delicious, and nice variety depending on which way you want to go, either with the loaves or if you want to go with the rolls. I like them both. The ingredients are going to be below. I am going to film every Saturday for sure. Hit the bell if you want to know when I'm putting up another video, because I usually put up more than one a week, sometimes 2 or 3 a week. And then hit the little like button, because that just means you like the video. Thank you so much. I will wish you very, very happy holidays. Can't wait to see you on the next video. Bye.